Hey guys, here with something a little bit different today. We're going to try some kill video commentary. So this was Mythic Soul Hunters. I was playing Devastation Evoker. I have on screen right here the talents I played. This is mostly a Feed the Flames Mythic Plus build, but with a couple different changes. So normally in Mythic Plus you're going to have the Deep Breath cooldown reduction as well as the Arcane Intensity, or you probably won't have this. You're probably just going to have Arcane Intensity for a little bit more single target. But because we're not really casting Disintegrate much, we're trying to stay mobile. I wanted to pick up Eternity Span for some more damage on Eternity Surge and Shattering Star. And then, because you take 2 points out here, you need to add 1 point back here. Lay Waste, not a huge difference maker, but it's just a cheaper point than this is to get to Essence Attunement. Over on the class tree side, I ended up taking Exuberance and Regenerative Magic and not Rescue Twin Guardian, because I was not an orb carrier, and we'll talk about that when we get into the actual fight. But if you are an orb carrier, I would probably take Rescue at the very least, and possibly Twin Guardian, just because it's really useful if you're doing that mechanic. So we'll go ahead and get back into the actual video. So as Flameshaper, Feed the Flames, obviously it's just be a lot of Pyre spam. With our Foresight, you want to take advantage of that. So we start with our Firestorm. Deep Breath just for that, because you got the talent there, and then you're getting your Engulfsin, and then rolling into your Pyres here. You want to be targeting Alyssa Darksorrow. She has the most health out of anyone, so that's the one you want to be like your main target, making sure you're always hitting. You'll see my note there for Renewing Blaze. I tried to soak these tank fractures that popped up just there. We're not doing too much else because we're not an orb carrier, so it's just something you can do. You can take care of. In terms of the fight itself, there's a lot of stuff that's one-shot kind of dangerous. We got some cones, we got some lines, we got things like that. So you want to be careful for that. Time Spiral there, just for people to move during these. I was using Obsidian Scales in the first soak of each phase. You get two. You're going to be... I was in the third one for my group. You might be in the first or second. I was using Obsidian Scales in the first because of who we had soaking the orbs. There was probably going to be one less person in that one compared to the second time we do it in each phase. So that I was just, I want a little bit more defensive there because we're spreading the damage less. So again, focusing on Darksorrow here. My goal here was to spend a full charge Fire Breath when I had a Consume ready. Otherwise do a charge to 2.
I got one shot.
And you can see here again, I have my Renewing Blaze up, so I'm going to pop it and soak that tank fracture there. But yeah, if I don't have a Consume, I was trying to do a 2 charge just for the maximum uptime on Fire Breath on the 3 targets. I didn't always succeed with it, but that's why I'm not the top archer, because I'm not like perfect at executing it. So yeah, intermission coming in, you're chained to 2 people on Mythic. You'll probably have an assignment for which sort of area to go. In their intermission, because you don't have that many Disintegrate talents, you're probably not going to do a ton of damage. It's okay. Focus on doing the mechanics. So in this first one, you want to soak orbs. Preferably don't let them stack too high. I think I went to 2 here. That's okay. It's not crazy amount of damage. 3 or more, you really need a defensive. We're using those in phase 1, so I try not to do that at all. And then we go back in phase 1, and then you're popping off again, right? You got your Feed the Flames, so your Deep Breath, Dragon Rage. During Dragon Rage, you only want to cast Firestorm if it's an instant one. And then really just trying to make sure you're getting as many Pyres out with the 4-piece as possible. One thing that I could have done better here was while Darksorrow was like following slowly, try to use more Living Flames there to build up your Essence Bomb, your Essence Burst charges to take advantage of that in the 4-piece. I had probably spent a few Pyres on her while she wasn't on top of anybody, which is kind of bad. So yeah, we're just continuing here. You'll see I have, so when we get pulled in there, I have Time Spiral assigned for the first one in each phase. You don't want to instantly hover out, because if you are the target of the first one, that one's probably going to be a melee soak. So you want to stay in, make sure you're not the first target, and then hover out maybe 1 global later. So you can see here, I sort of just walk out. And then, yeah, I guess we can talk a little bit about the weak auras we have too. So I have both the liquid and the Kazese pack here. I've turned off a lot of the weak auras on them because they're kind of duplicative, but I've also left on some important ones. So for example, in the soak lines, you can see the 3 ticks, so you know which one's yours. We'll talk a little bit more about the avoidable damage here. There's these Eclipse Cones. Those are scary. They'll one-shot you if you die. And then also the Blade Dances, which is like the 6 green lines around the bosses. Those will also, I don't think those will one-shot you, but if you get hit, you're in high danger there. Phase 2, again, this one we have the blaze lines. You want to try to minimize your movement here. You can see here, like I'm just barely trying to move out of it. I don't want to do anything too crazy. If you do get targeted and you have to move, you want to move along the direction of your line, just like on Frack. It's nothing new. And yeah, you're just trying to not go too far from your buddies, because if you do, they'll get snapped to each other. You take a lot of damage. You probably end up taking extra blaze lines. You'll die. Yeah, so the avoidable damage, we can avoid all of it. Basically, we're super mobile with the Feed the Flame spec, because you're casting like probably 80% instance through Pyre and your instant Living Flames. Zephyr is for this Heal Absorb. The Heal Absorb is probably the scariest mechanic in terms of your like actual risk of dying. It puts a huge Heal Absorb on everybody. So if you're taking other damage there, you are at high risk. And you can see here, I didn't instantly have her out because I'm the first target. I just move it through melee. They can soak it. We're good. But yeah, the Heal Absorb is scary. You gotta watch out. If you're low there, pop a health stone, pop a health pot. It's a great spot for it, because you don't want to die to just ticking out when other people are getting healed and you feel like an idiot when you have your stuff up. Yep, we're just going through here. So I'll go in the end and we'll talk about the other people's jobs with the orbs. We'll go to that. We'll show another point of view, because you might get assigned to that in your raid. Evoker's not too bad at it. It kind of sucks you to go far. So that's why I was glad I wasn't assigned it, because then I could always be in range of the bosses.
Soloing 3, get out of 3, get out of 3.
And yeah, you can hear, normally in the third soaker he's soloing, so I don't need to go soak that one. And again, you can Renewing Blaze when you soak the frailty buffs, because those will put a dot on you. You can see the long dot. It'll help your healers. Good spot for Renewing Blaze there. I took the talent where your Renewing Blaze goes on somebody else. I probably didn't get good value out of it because I wasn't actually targeting at anyone. This one, we chose to always run right here. You might want to try to go short. We thought the consistency was better than like trying to decide where to go. So even though right was a little bit longer, we still went right. And then in the last one, you can see here, I'll get snapped because somebody in my group was a little bit further behind. I actually do end up dying here. I got pulled back, and then I got pulled forward, and it was all over for me. I probably could have health potted. I was probably trying to save it for if I was getting too low from the breath, but then I got snapped again. It was all over for me, which is kind of a bummer, because you know I have Dragon Rage again. We can pop off here. If you have had some deaths in your guild, then you'll have more damage to do at the end here, so you can get a really good Dragon Rage off, and you can pop off and get back up on the meters. We didn't have that. I was too mad. I was too busy yelling to take the battle res, instant battle res. But yeah, we got it down. We were happy about that. So that's about all there is for Evoker, but I want to show the orb mechanic here, just in case you do get assigned to it. So this is our mage point of view. So we had, I'll just minimize this real quick. We had, in our groups, we had the first group was mage healer, second one was hunter warlock healer, third one was moonkin shadow healer. So we had the healers holding it during the intermission, and then the DPS doing it during the phases. So this is coming out of the first intermission. So he has to pick it up from the healer and then start soaking the orbs. So what we had was we had people with macros set up so they could ping themselves and their partner, so they could get together and the healer would dispel it from one to the other. And then we also had, our raid leader spent like probably half an hour setting up the Viserio note so that it would ping these specific people and send a text saying, hey, it's time for you to either pick it up from this person or drop it off to this other person. So you'll see him get that, and then we'll see the mechanic there. So I'll actually go back 5 seconds because he just picked it up. So yeah, take from Ziv in one. So he's pinging them. They're on top of each other. You can see these guys pinged each other. And then his job then is to soak up the puddles. So the puddles come out pretty soon. And you can see here he's getting a big debuff here, and it puts a healing absorb on you. So if you're getting the orbs, you probably don't want to be picking up the frailties. You probably want to be using your defensives for this stuff. Because yeah, he's running around picking up the puddles, taking a lot of damage, getting big heal absorbs. It's pretty scary. So all the stuff I was doing with the frailty and like the obsidian scales on the line soaks, you want to use them when you're carrying the orb. And yeah, again, it's important not to overlap theirs. He did a good job spreading out. But yeah, you want to be the person. You want to have your defenses up for while you're the orb soaker. If that is your job, and we'll go back again to see before he gets dispelled. It'll say pass the mana through in 5, so he does the ping. They find each other. And then, yep, he's the sword, so the swords find each other. He presses his macro to get dispelled, and it gets passed off. He doesn't have the debuff anymore. So I did mention the rescue at the beginning. I didn't have talented. That's a really good thing you can do, is, instead of having to find your partner, you just rescue them. And then depending on your group comp, you'll decide whether you want to rescue when you're picking up or rescue when you're dropping off, because of the 1 minute cooldown. You probably don't have it available for both. So yeah, that's about it for Soul Hunters. Good luck to you guys. Hopefully you parse higher than I did.